What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
Powell going deep, and it's caught in the end zone for a touchdown by Xavier Diaz. A great throw, Diaz wide open.
.32-yarder here, well within his range.
Ball snap, spotted, kick is up, and it is down the middle.
Good by Plenty.
It looks like it's going to be short. Stretch that, baby. There we go. Give it a good pull. And Vineland's defense. Oh, no.
What? That was a little suspect there.
Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Guzman's Gridiron, presented by the Red and Gray Gridiron Group and Underground Sports Philadelphia, here on the Underground Sports Philadelphia Podcast Network each and every week during the Vineland High School football season. Kyle Bennett here with you, and joining me each and every week, as he always does, the namesake of the program, head coach of Vineland High School football, Coach Jose Guzman. Goose, not the result you guys wanted last Thursday against Eastern, obviously, but we talked post-game a little bit, and, you know, from building from week 0 to week 1 to what we saw against Eastern, by far the most complete game you guys have played to date. Was it a full, complete game? Not necessarily, but from what we saw on the field execution-wise, just like mental toughness-wise, a very, very strong performance for you guys against Eastern.
Again, you know, our kids played their hearts out. People that know football, people that know sports, definitely see the improvement from week 0 to this last game that we played against Eastern. You know, everything was much crisper. Everything ran a lot better. You know, we had our fair share of guys that were banged up. But again, no excuses. Kudos to the Eastern coaching staff and their kids for closing out a game. You know, we had our opportunities, Kyle, and again, you know, we can't rely on the refs to get us calls. We've got to make sure that we solidify everything and ultimately score enough points and stop the opposing team from scoring points in order to secure our victory. So, again, no excuses. We lost that game, and we're looking forward to this week coming up.
And, you know, I think one of the biggest takeaways I had from the game, just watching it, and obviously I'm not a coach. I'm just a broadcaster. I'm a football fan. I wanted to pick your brain about the game closing drive that unfortunately ended up in an interception. What went into the play calling decisions there? I know the official scoreboard wasn't completely accurate with timeouts remaining and everything, but what was kind of the decision-making process amongst you guys on the offensive side of the ball? Because there was still a lot of time left on the clock, relatively speaking, and you guys tended to go for, you know, the four-man kind of just fade down the field play almost every single time. What went into that decision-making process with what was left on the game clock, what you guys needed in terms of points, and just the overall decision-making to use that play as kind of the go-to down the stretch?
Well, Kyle, if you look at that play and and you really see what we were doing there. We were opening that team up all game. It just so happens that Elijah threw an underthrown ball, but the pass was there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Zalik was cooking. Zalik was cooking. He was whoever Eastern had on him all game. He was finding a way to get open. So we decided to go with our deep wide receiver threat, which is Zalik, and we came up short. Our quarterback had some pressure on him, and wound up throwing an underthrown ball, and the rest is history.
And I mean, from just the overall perspective of the game, and we'll get into our player of the game in just a minute, but even with two of your bigger running back pieces on this team down, with Georgie being out, Omar being out, the running back room did not skip a single beat all night, and I think that was one of the more impressive takeaways as well. And when I talked to Zalik after the ACIT game, and he said, we got to see guys step up when people get injured. Somebody goes out, we need next man up mentality to kind of kick in. We saw that on full display last Thursday night when you have that stable of running backs on display, and you're still 3-4 guys deep, even with two of your better and more notable backs out injured and not even suiting up for the game.
I'm very proud of my kids. Very proud of them. There was a lot of people that had to step up in positions. Carlton just did his job. CJ, he stepped up. He more than stepped up.
Mm-hmm.
And he took that role as the workhorse back. And I'm very proud to see that. Guess what? We have another guy that we can rely on. We have somebody else that actually wants to get out there and give it their all and take advantage of their opportunities. You also had the likes of Barias Hill running the football downhill. You also had the likes of Zyleek. You had the likes of Ben Rojas, getting some carries as well. So we have players out there that can make plays and step up and do their job. So very proud of them.
And I think the crazier aspect, too, is, Carlton goes down earlier in the game, and nobody really knows from the sideline perspective what exactly happened because he was down on that field for quite some time. And then he pops back up. Marcelino and I are like, is he going to be able to come back into the game?
Right.
And then just a few minutes later, he's back in the game, and it's almost like he's a brand new person the rest of the game, the way he was running the football. It was like somebody injected him with super soldier serum, and he became Captain America out there. It was wildly impressive to watch, especially during the context of the game. You don't really know what happened. I talked to him after the game. He was totally okay. One of those happenings. If you know, you know. But
yes, if you know, you know.
It was wildly impressive to kind of just throughout the game watch and be like, wow, he was down, like face down on that turf, and now he's out here running with his hair on fire. And every single time he touched the rock, especially in the second half, he was finding the hole better than anybody we've seen this season from the running game. And I think that's not only a testament to him just, in that next man up mentality, but the offensive line stepping up in a huge way. And I thought they had their best collective game of the season as well.
Again, man, kudos to my kids. There was three linemen down, three guys that went in there and did their best to try to achieve that victory. And again, what better way to show, the team, stepping up is this type of action here where we're going ahead. We're taking on this starting role now where we've been a 2 or a 3 in the depth chart, and we're going ahead and letting it all fly, man. And again, kudos to the guys that stepped up in all those positions that we needed.
And we'll get to our injury report later on in the show too, but obviously scary moment on the field.
Yes.
Especially at the high school level. You see it a lot in the NFL, and it's one of those things. These are grown men, and they're going full speed like that. But to see it at the high school level, it's a lot scarier. At the end of the day, these are kids.
Absolutely.
And to have that moment there, what was kind of the message for you guys when the injury happens? It was a lengthy delay for obvious reasons. But then afterwards as well, to kind of regroup because, as kids, seeing one of your friends go down like that with an injury as, significant as what was sustained, that can be a real mental puzzle for you to kind of have to go back out on the field and continue to play a game. What was the coach's message after everything kind of settled and things were, back to game time and making sure everyone kind of stayed as focused as they possibly could be?
Again, the player mentioned is Glenn Seeger. Great kid, one of our receivers, D-backs, and ultimately his leg took a hit there. His tibia and fibula. The tibia had 2 breaks in it. The fibula had, of course, its own break, and it was bad. It was bad, man. I was there. I was looking, and it was something to behold, man. I just stayed with him, made sure that he didn't keep looking down there. Our trainers are excellent. Miss Dara, kudos to Miss Dara and TD for going ahead and handling their jobs as professionally as they always do. But yeah, the message simply was, Kyle, that we have a fallen soldier on the field, man. Where is your heart at? What are you going to do to go ahead and finish this game off for Glenn? Okay, let's do it for Glenn. Let's go ahead and devote the rest of the season to that young man because he's put in a lot of time. And it's just unbelievable with him, man. He comes off a shoulder injury in the offseason. Dara and TD do an excellent job with him, getting him back, recovered. We go ahead, we follow whatever modalities they gave us in the weight room. And Glenn was looking good. He was feeling good. And then ultimately for his year to end like this, it was tragic, man. A lot of heartfelt emotions. Our kids were hurt. Our kids were really hurt. He has a brother on the team in Caden Chestnut, and Caden was feeling it as well. So it's a hard thing to grasp for an adult. So imagine a kid.
Right.
You know what I mean? Mentally, our kids were. I know they were agitated. I know they were in a state of disarray. So thank goodness for the coaching staff. We have great guys on staff that had personal relationships with these kids and kind of honed everything back to the object at hand, which was to try to get this win for Glenn. And apologies to you, Glenn. We didn't cap it off for you, but best believe that these kids all played for you, man. They poured their heart and soul into that game. And we just want you to get better every day, man. And he is. His mother's been in contact with us. He's he got out of surgery on Saturday, and he was home, and or Friday rather, and then he was home Saturday. So we're just hoping that he just recovers ultimately to the point where he can actually play again someday.
And talking after the game to a couple of the guys too, he just seems like the ultimate teammate too.
He's a great kid, man.
Just the type of guy that doesn't say all too much, doesn't have to say all too much, just puts his head down, brings his lunch pail to work,
yes.
and is always there for anybody on the team. It doesn't matter who.
Absolutely is. Like I said, he's a loved kid on the team, quiet leader, just leads by example and by his actions. But again, we just want to wish him the speediest of recoveries.
And, to put a bow on this game against Eastern, too, not only was it a complete game, part of that was best special teams performance we've had all season by a wide margin. And the adjustments that were made on the punt team, I thought Brett looked a lot more comfortable getting the ball out. The release point from the long snapper to Brett was a lot more clean and a lot more it was speedier for him to get the ball away, which showcased his ability to punt the ball, which we haven't really been able to see the past 2 weeks. What did you take away from the special teams performance and just their overall progression from what we've seen the past 2 weeks?
Again, Coach Henry Garton and Coach Ryan Shelton do a great job with our special teams. Again, focus being special teams this week as well. The kids, they went ahead, took the coaching. And ultimately you saw the results. A kid in Brett Brosh that's he could do a lot of things in directional kicking. He has great fundamentals. He gets the ball out there. gets the ball with hang time as well. But the most impressive thing about that kid is he stays cool, calm, and collective when there's pressure. I love it. You saw he took that
huge penalty.
Yeah, he took a huge penalty for us. The kid is just cool, like the other side of the pillow. So, kudos to Brett. He's been, working his tail off at practice. Then he goes beyond the call duty with 5-star kicking with Jim Cooper. Really good dude. Worked with my guys for years now. He's gotten the likes of Henry, even Pop for a little bit.
He worked with Colin too, if I'm not mistaken.
All my guys, definitely went ahead and worked with that man. He's just a good dude to work with in that capacity. But again, our specialties, they did come up big for us in spots, and we're just going to keep on progressing.
Yeah, and I thought that was a huge part of the game being as close as it was, and across the board too. You guys really dominated time of possession as well. You were forcing them into a lot of 3-and-outs, a lot of 4-and-outs, whatever it may be. I thought you guys did a really good job of keeping possession of the football, winning time of possession, and that was a huge improvement for just the overall gameplay for you guys to have success. From me watching the game from the booth was just the time of possession battle. You guys, for a majority, if not the entire game, just dominated the time of possession.
Absolutely, which was great. You saw some unbelievable drives. Sustained drives, it's great, but ultimately we got to put that ball in the end zone. You got the ball 10, 15 minutes at a time. The ball should get in that end zone.
Right.
But, again, we came up short in some cases. The kids are going to, go ahead and revamp. And this week we're looking to definitely set our mark and getting some more points on the board. And also, a guy that I forgot that he likes watching this show, Mr. Kling. I don't know if you remember Mr.
Oh, yeah.
He was one of my kickers also, and Jim Cooper worked with him as well. Just we've had our fair share of really good kickers here, man.
100%. It's been, we talked about it even when Colin graduated, it's been over almost nearly 2 decades of just continuous regimes of great kicking for the Fighting Clan, and it looks like it's just going to continue, keeping on, especially as the special teams unit continues to progress this year. But one final thing about this game, it's our Homegrown Player of the Week, brought to you by the City of Vineland. And like we've been mentioning, guys, the Garden State Comic Fest is coming to the new Vineland Convention Center Saturday, November 15th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Sunday, November 16th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Meet Melissa Joan Hart. Yes, I did not stutter. Sabrina the Teenage Witch will be in Vineland, New Jersey. Very exciting for all of us 90s babies. Let's go. Plus fan favorite stars like Dan Parent, the legendary Archie's comic artist and writer, Kevin Clash, the voice of Elmo, Splinter, and Baby Sinclair, and Keith Williams, the iconic comic book inker from Marvel, and more. Comics, cosplay, collectibles, and over 6,000 fans. For more information, you can visit gscfvineland.com for all the details. Again, the Garden State Comic Fest is coming to the new Vineland Convention Center Saturday, November 15th and Sunday, November 16th. For all the details, visit gscfvineland.com. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to the City of Vineland for being a proud partner here of Guzman's Gridiron. Our Homegrown Player of the Week is none other than Carlton C.J. Thomas, stepping up the way that he did, battling through, getting the wind knocked out of him quite a bit early in that game, and just the resiliency he showed in that next man up mentality. It was a no doubt about it. He was fantastic for you guys on Thursday night.
That kid is just a guy that you got to keep your eyes on, because he's going to do some special things here. And this isn't, going ahead and glorifying him in a way, right? But the kid, a lot of people don't know, right thumb, injured, groin injury, okay? He's special, man. He's special. He can block all that out and still carry out his duties, and still go beyond the call of duty. The kid is special, and you're gonna hear a lot more about that kid. I'm telling you.
And on top of that, you wouldn't have even known that he was injured during this game. No. But the way that he played, the way that he put the team on his back, picking up key third, fourth down, drives for you guys and extending drives to make sure that you were in the game till the very end. His performance was just wildly impressive. And on top of that, when I talked to him post-game, the first thing he mentions is, hey, my offensive line stepped up. Yeah. That was the first words out of his mouth. That, to me, is not only you showcase your abilities, you're a great teammate as well because you're recognizing the accomplishments of others around you.
He's a selfless kid, man. He's a good, like I said, he's a great kid. And he's somebody that, in my opinion, is going to be on the radar of a lot of schools once everything's said and done. He gives you everything, man, from vision, explosiveness, power, speed. I mean, the kid's a football player, man. So we'll see. The history of CJ is still being written.
100%. I mean, just like Aiden and Zyleek earlier this season, and plenty more players on this team too. CJ just feels like no matter what he puts his mind to, whether it's on the football field, in the classroom, whatever he wants to accomplish, when his high school career is all said and done, he's going to accomplish it one way or another and find a way 100%. To get to that top of the mountain that he wants to reach.
Absolutely, and he's going to do it on both sides of the ball, because I don't know if you remember this past game, there was a lot of hitting going on.
Yep.
And he was upending a lot of people.
Making big plays.
he was smacking people all over the field.
Picked up a half a sack, if my memory serves me correct. He was all over the field.
He had a game. And kudos to him. He puts in the time. He puts in the work. And, the rest is history. So, we're gonna see a lot more on CJ.
And, I mean, to kind of piggyback off of that, too, even though there's injuries and, Georgie and Omar will be back, yes. What does a performance like that for CJ do for his playing time and your guys' scheming up, your game plans on offense, on defense, and getting a player like CJ more involved and having a more even distribution of the ball, giving guys proper rest when they need it, and being able to kind of, shuffle guys in and give different looks like we've seen you guys do in the past. But what does a performance like this do for you guys as coaches to be like, okay, he's capable of doing this and we don't have to worry about him?
Absolutely. It just gives us more reassurance that this kid is an every down back. He just is. I mean, the proof's in the pudding. So, again, it ups his stock. It absolutely does, proofs in the pudding. So, he's definitely lighting the fire on the tailwinds of those other two backs, for them to stay on point, for them to stay hungry. Because if not, you got some youngster right there waiting in the wings to go ahead and take your spot.
And that's got to do wonders for you guys as coaches and just the competitive nature of practice, what a game will look like, knowing, hey, you've got CJ back here chomping at the bit to get as much playing time as possible. Yeah. You guys are coming back from injury. We know what you're capable of, but you got to be on your P's and Q's as well. Otherwise, he's going to be ready to rock and roll and get even more playing time.
Absolutely. And my kids know, man, best play, that's it, period. That's what's going on right here. So if you're not up to par that week, guess what? You might lose some carries and lose them to somebody who is hungry, who is going out there and doing all the X's and O's right. It's just the nature of the beast. I mean, you look at it college level, NFL level, the best play, period. And it means the best that week.
Right.
Week to week. So one week you might be hot. The next week you may have taken a downturn. Well, guess what? That guy that was waiting in the back who's hungry, he's going to get some more carries, right? Because he's been putting in that work. So nothing's guaranteed, man. Nothing is guaranteed. It's on a week-to-week basis. So if you're not doing what you're supposed to do that week, don't be mad. And I tell my kids, don't be mad. If this person is working and going ahead and adjusting his play to go ahead and match, what he needs to match on the field, you might just lose a carry or two. It is what it is. And guess what? That's life.
Right.
That's the truth. That's the reality. Why am I going to feed my kids, oh, don't worry, it's going to be all right. You'll still get the ball. You're still the number one tailback. How many times in college ranks and NFL ranks do you see guys that were unbelievable all of a sudden start to lose an edge to some young kid that's hungrier?
I mean, we have a direct comparison, and this is no slight to the guy I'm going to mention here, but it happened in Kansas City. Clyde Edwards-Helaire was a first-round pick. 7th-round pick, Isaiah Pacheco comes in and takes the starting job away from him. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is no longer in Kansas City.
No. And look, you're talking about a guy who had a season there, or a couple seasons, right? Young guy comes, hungrier, takes his job. It's just the nature of the beast, man. And no one can, you can't catch feelings for that.
Right.
You can't get upset.
Especially
for that.
at the high school level.
No, it is a spade is a spade. Did this kid put in the work to get to where he's at? Yes. So therefore, you get rewarded for that. It's just what it is. And you have fallen off. So guess what? There's going to be carries that are taken away from you to give to him. Or there's going to be pass, plays that were designed for you. Now this kid who's hungrier is getting them. Get yourself back into that work mode, and maybe you'll get those carries back. Maybe you'll get those receptions back. If not, toodles.
And on top of that, if there's 2 players on this current roster in 2025 that are going to use CJ's performance as fuel for them when they come back from injury, it's George Figueroa III and it's Omar.
Yeah.
Those 2 are 2 of the fiercest competitors that I've seen over the past couple of seasons since they've been in this program. And they're not only are they happy for CJ and thrilled that he performed the way that he did, they're going to use that in practice when they're fully cleared and ready to go to motivate themselves and to motivate CJ so that collectively this running back room is the best that it can possibly be.
Absolutely. Our kids are great kids. Like I said, I'll put them up against anybody. I know that for a fact Omar and Georgie are going to absolutely be thrilled now to see, wait, we got this guy right on our tail, so we got to call separation. Well, how are you going to do that? Through competitive practices, through competitive play. It's the only way, man. So what a world to have 3 number ones.
And Omar's seen it on the defensive side, too.
Yeah.
Omar's a linebacker next to Aiden. You see CJ playing a hybrid
also,
linebacker, defensive back role.
Yeah.
Omar's got double competitive nature now, and that's only going to make practice for you guys that much better. Coach Ryan Shelton, Coach Cliff Smith, Coach Ray Fitton have to be just like salivating at how exciting that notion is going to be when all 3 of them are collectively good to go. Those practices are going to be cinema.
Yes. And again, in their respective right, each one adds a little flavor to the pot. Each one has their thing. Again, I've said it time and time again. Omar's your downhill bruiser. Georgie's the guy who's the change the pace back that's going to have the wheels to get outside. And there's CJ. Kind of a total package. And, he can do what Omar can do. He can do what Georgie can do. And he can do what CJ can do. So it's going to be a great thing to see how are Omar and Georgie now going to take all that information, right, and apply it to a competitive type of vibe,
right, where
it's only making the running back room that much better. That's all. There's not, and if we got to go ahead, and I know Coach Ray, I know Coach Shelton, if we got to give equal opportunity to all 3 because they're all playing at an unbelievable level, then it goes equal opportunity for all 3. But again, you can't slouch. You slouch once or twice, man. That might be 1, 2, 3, 4 carries that you don't get back that this other guy gets, whether it be Georgie, Omar, or CJ.
And on top of that, that makes the offense collectively as a unit that much better. That makes Elijah more competitive.
Right.
That makes the offensive line want to be that much more tight-knit and be on their P's and Q's and seal those gaps and open up lanes for the running backs. It's going to make the receivers that much better because then teams are going to want to hone in on the run. And guess what? Elijah can pop it up down the field for you, and Zyleek Travis is going to come up with a lot of touchdowns because of it. It's a very exciting notion to have. We're going to talk more about it as we prepare for Pennsauken this week. We'll get into our injury report, our game preview, and more on the other side. But a quick break for a word from our sponsors, so don't go anywhere. You're watching and listening to Guzman's Gridiron right here on Underground Sports Philadelphia. Hey, everybody, quick ad break, and I want to talk to you about our amazing sponsor, Allen Associates. And if you are looking for a reliable and experienced insurance agency that caters to all your needs, look no further than Allen Associates Insurance Services. With over 6 decades of experience under their belt, they specialize in health insurance, financial services, and accounting. Whether you're a part of the public or private sector, they've got you covered. Their family-owned business currently helps upwards of 300 groups throughout New Jersey, providing them with the best insurance options available. You can easily learn more and access their services by visiting their newly renovated website, Allen Assoc, that's ALLENASSOC.com. So join the family and let them help you secure your future. Contact them today online or by calling 856-692-2250. That's 856-692-2250. Big thank you to Allen Associates for being a proud partner of Guzman's Gridiron.
Out here, strength isn't a choice. It's a way of life. And when your back carries the weight of generations, you need support that never gives out. In the city, the load's different, but the drive is the same. When every step matters, your knees shouldn't slow you down. And when the work is done, healing isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. At Family Medical Equipment, we build relief into every stitch, strap, and product. From the fields to the office to your journey back to full strength. Family Medical Equipment. Built to support. Made to last.
Hello, I'm Mayor Anthony Fanucci. Vineland, New Jersey offers both a great business location and an outstanding quality of life. But don't just take my word for it, the experts agree. We're proud to be recognized as a premier food processing and logistics hub, one of New Jersey's most affordable and desirable cities, and one of the best places to retire in the country. Visit vinelandcity.org and see how our resources can work for you. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season.
And welcome back, everybody. Big thank you to our sponsors. And, Coach, let's get into this week's injury report brought to you by Family Medical Equipment, our newest partner here this season at Guzman's Gridiron. And since 2001, Family Medical Equipment has maintained a commitment to providing award-winning compassionate care to the community in New Jersey, Delaware, and Pennsylvania with a dedicated clinical staff, including respiratory therapists and skilled nurses, and they ensure seamless follow-up care for every patient, whether it's coming home from hospice, you need something done, whether it's a knee brace. You know, they are in the business of helping the community, and their commitment to excellence extends to their 24-hour on-call service, making home rehabilitation convenient and safe. And as a family-owned and operated business, they pride themselves on caring for your family as their own. You can go visit their brick-and-mortar store, their retail shop at 106 West Landis Avenue, Unit 10, right here in Vineland, New Jersey, and experience the difference that a family business provides. You can also contact them at 856-794-8050. They've been absolutely loving following along with the show and getting involved, and we couldn't be happier to have Family Medical Equipment as our official injury provider here on the show. Coach, a lot of injuries to kind of recap and get into. Obviously, the big one that happened, and we mentioned it earlier, unfortunate end to a season there. But now, on top of that, you know, you have, not that you ever want that, but now you have a locker room full of guys playing for not only just themselves, but wanting to accomplish more for a teammate who can't go out there and do it himself.
Absolutely. Also, I want to first and foremost say thank you, Premier Orthopedics. I mean, listen, the doctor was excellent. You know, Dara, TD, the likes of everyone that was there helping out with Glenn. I want to thank you guys so much. You know, security, you know, everyone that was on scene there did an absolutely excellent job. And I want to say thank you from the bottom of our heart. Here, you know, the Fighting Clan wants to say thank you so much for what you guys did for that young man, because you guys were very, very professional in how you guys handled everything. So kudos to everyone that was helping with Glenn.
100%. And, on top of that, we mentioned George Figueroa was out last week. Omar Davis out last week as well, plus a few injuries here and there throughout the game. What's this week's injury report looking like going into this Pennsauken matchup?
We still have guys, again, banged up. Omar's still going to be dealing with what he's dealing with. Georgie's going to be dealing with what he's dealing with. Lorenzo, our offensive guy, offensive lineman, will be dealing with, his injury, his knee. Adonai will be dealing with his injury as well with his groin. Zincraft, his shoulder. I mean,
it's a gauntlet here.
It's I'm sure I left out a couple guys as well. Caden with his foot, his toe, Chestnut. So I mean, we have some guys that are banged up, but again, it's football, man. You're never going to be 100%, so you got to work through your injuries. They know that. Again, thank you so much for our athletic training staff, in TD and Miss Dara. They do an excellent job to get our guys as close to 100%, Kyle, as they'll be in during the season. It is what it is. And again, we're looking to see the young guys step up again if need be. But we should, knock on wood, be totally equipped for this week, minus, of course, Glenn. But we'll see what happens this week, see who else steps up.
Yeah, because we had talked prior to kickoff against Eastern, we had mentioned, Georgie and Omar kind of week to week.
Yes.
But, we also mentioned that on the show last week, George's injury looked a lot more severe than it actually ended up being.
Right.
So that was a huge relief for you guys, and knowing that, if all systems go, he could potentially be in uniform on Friday night. That's a huge get back for you guys.
Absolutely. We love Georgie. What he provides for this team is invaluable, as far as him being able to be that change of pace back, the guy that you just don't see coming. Great speed, great vision, great pad level, just a great football player to have on the team, and we're wishing him the best to come back and handle his business, have a great game.
And on top of that, when you have injuries and, like you mentioned, having some of the young guys step up as practice has progressed, as we record this on a Wednesday, what have you seen in practice from guys that you are looking to step up in this matchup because of injuries, and seeing what they can bring to the table, maybe for the first time in these roles because the opportunity hasn't been there due to injury? But what have you seen from a lot of these young guys going into this week?
Well, one of the main things that I've seen is that
surprise guest.
And there goes that one. There's always a surprise. Sometimes you just got to roll with the punches. But what was the question again? That took me out.
The young guys that, getting their first chance at certain positions due to injury, and being able to see them step up in practice.
Right.
What you want to see from them if they are called upon, if their number gets called on Friday night. What have you seen from those guys? Who has kind of stood out to you in practice from those, point of views?
Well, Matthew Nieves has definitely stepped up big. Very, very, very proud of that kid. I mean, you're talking about a kid that, when you talk about bringing your lunchbox to work, that kid brings his lunchbox to work every single day, every single practice. So I'm very, very proud of Matt, and what he has added to that O-line. And the likes of also, I'm going to throw him in there again. CJ just brought an explosiveness to that backfield that we've needed. And ultimately what we're looking for is other guys, maybe those level 3, level 4 guys to go ahead and start, positions are available.
Mm-hmm.
If you want it, you see that we're putting guys in there that are actually going ahead and putting the time, the effort, and being strategic on how they play, right? Making sure that they follow their alignment, assignment, adjustment. So we're just looking for more depth. We really are, Kyle.
And on top of that, when you have someone like CJ who is versatile and can play both sides of the ball, that also, opens up potential for, okay, let's see if CJ's having a game defensively and we want him to be locked in, who can step up offensively, and vice versa. If he's running the ball extremely well, let's keep the ball in his hands and make sure he's healthy on offense. Who can step up in that hybrid linebacker role while Omar's out, while CJ is running the ball, and give you guys a little bit more versatility there. And on top of that, the JV season's underway. How much more another week of JV that has come and gone has really helped provide more additional film, more additional looks for you guys to really get a grasp on what these guys are capable of that are part of this younger crop that makes up this varsity roster.
We have a few guys, man, that have actually stepped up, even from the freshman level. We have the likes of Courtney, AK, and other CJ, David. These are guys that are built very, very well for being freshmen. They can withstand the hustle bustle of a varsity schedule. So I waved them up a few weeks ago, and we have guys that are again on the fence. Can you go ahead and take that leap of faith this week, or are you just still in learning phase and trying to go ahead and hone your skill to the point where you can go ahead and get involved with a varsity game? So again, there's a lot of unknowns, but it's a good thing because we have kids that we know are stepping up on a week-to-week basis.
And when you have those kids that are playing a JV schedule now along with a varsity schedule, couple that with practice, couple that with school every day, what have you noticed about just their attention to detail each and every day, when you see them, whether it's in the hallway, at practice, getting ready for a game? What have you noticed, progression-wise of how they're handling an extensive workload that can be a lot for a lot of people? And even if you're showcasing that you're capable of it, sometimes you kind of just hold it back and be like, man, it's taking a toll on me. I got to really focus in. What have you noticed from those, handful of guys that you mentioned that have been able to carry that load of JV, an entire, practice schedule leading up to a Friday night, a Thursday night? Sometimes, luckily, Thursday's done until Millville now from Thanksgiving, but, Friday and now Saturdays as well down the line. And couple that with, schoolwork and a class load every single day.
Well, I could tell you this much. We see that the kids are very, very good now. They've gotten accustomed to going ahead and going about their business as far as school, managing it alongside of, their football prowess. So, again, man, I'm just very proud of these kids. They caught on pretty quick with that. They got into their own little routine, and they've kept up their end of the bargain, which, again, student, athlete. Mm-hmm. So they have to handle themselves in that classroom first before anything else.
And on top of that, Friday Night Lights, final of this 4-game homestand to open the season. And our game preview is brought to you by our good friends at Allen Associates. And if you're looking for a reliable and experienced insurance agency that caters to all your needs, look no further than Allen Associates Insurance Services. They are in their 65th year of helping the people of New Jersey. With their experience of 65 years under their belt, they specialize in health insurance, financial services, and accounting. Whether you're a part of the public or private sector, they've got you covered. Their family-owned business currently helps upwards of 300 groups throughout New Jersey, providing them with the best insurance options available. You can easily learn more and access their services by visiting their newly renovated website, which is linked in the description of both the audio and video versions of the show. So join the family and let them help you secure your future. Contact them today online or by calling 856-692-2250. That's 856-692-2250. Big thank you to Allen Associates for being a long-standing partner here of Guzman's Gridiron. And when I was going and renewing with them, I finally got to meet Corey, who's my point of contact there. And it was very funny because, I had never met Corey Allen before. And I'm just thinking, they've been in business 65 years. I'm thinking it's an older gentleman. I'm emailing back and forth. I walk in. Corey and I are about the same age. And he's like, it's finally good to put a face to the voice that I listen to every week. So Corey does listen every week. So I just wanted to thank Corey for all of the support and all of Allen Associates as well.
Absolutely.
Big game on deck, Pennsauken. They've been on the schedule now the past 2 years, if I'm remembering correctly, maybe three. So the past 3 seasons now. Last year, obviously, a tougher result than the year prior, which was just a down-to-the-wire 3-0 victory on the foot of Golden Leg.
The Golden Leg.
But last year, obviously, didn't get out to the start that you guys wanted and ended up being a loss. But this is the first time Pennsauken is coming to us, I believe, in the 3 years that we've played them. So they're coming to a new location. You guys know the location. How much of a benefit is that, knowing, you're not going on the road over an hour away with traffic to Pennsauken, and being able to lock in and be at home one final time before this road trip comes up for 3 straight games, and also knowing they've never come here. They don't know how the turf plays. They don't know what, the amenities are at Catone Stadium like you guys do, like other visiting opponents do. Not that it's a huge advantage, but it's one of those game within the game things that you kind of have to mentally prepare for as a road team. How beneficial is it knowing you guys are at home again? You kind of know what the routine is, but now you have an unfamiliar opponent to Catone Stadium coming in as well.
Well, again, being home is beautiful in that, we get that home field advantage. But again, man, we got to come with our best foot forward, because if not, it can be another one of those dreary events. We got to make sure that we handle our business, Kyle, and do it in every phase of the game. We can't leave no points on the board no more, man. We can't. That is it's a no-no. We can't leave it up to the refs to give us calls. Listen, I've been here 16 years, dude. We don't get calls. And the crazy thing is, I talk to these guys. I don't lose my composure. I don't get crazy. I'm not Bobby Knight, even though some people that know me might
Lou
think
Piniella.
Yeah, right. But I keep calm and cool, man. But regardless of how cool and calm I am, we don't get no calls, man.
And I'll even say it, so you don't have to. Watching from the broadcast booth, you talk, try to get an answer, and then it feels like anytime you just try to get an answer, there's more yellow laundry on the field afterwards.
Yeah,
and it
matter.
blows my mind when you're just trying to have a civil conversation, try to find out what's going through the referee's head at that time, and then there's more laundry on the field. Guess what? There's no laundromat at Catone Stadium. Pick up the laundry. Let's play football. We're not folding clothes, okay?
How about this one, Kyle? The best is this. I go to these white hats, right? I go to the white hats, and I had a situation the game before. Go to the white hat. Listen, can I talk to you? Yeah, sure. I said, you didn't see that there was 2 clips on that return. You didn't see that at all, sir. You were running behind. Nice and calm. The answer I get, I missed it, coach. So this is the rebuttal I give him. Again, calm. Well, sir, how about this one? How about me and you switch roles? You're me, I'm you, and I tell you, well, coach, I just missed the call. How would you feel, man? Honestly, how would you take that? Right? It's kind of hard. And look, and I'm still keeping my composure.
Right.
I'm not going crazy on you. And I'm not, because guess what? I already know what happens. I'm not dumb. I go crazy on you, I get a flag on my team, and then you guys are going to turn flag happy and start throwing flags like laundry all day long. So it's a no-win situation for me, man. But I just want you to understand how you would feel if I gave you that answer. Well, I just missed it, coach. Like the last game, almost to a T, Kyle.
Ooh-wee.
I asked the white hat to come over. Now this guy's supposedly the head of all of them. I ask him a simple question. Well, coach, I wasn't in that vicinity. If I can see from where I'm at, I don't
If
get
I
it.
can see where I'm at.
If you can see where
I'm up in the clouds.
But I guess the ball was still in the gentleman's hands. I guess it was still in the, I don't know. I guess it was.
Even after 13 replay reviews. Shout out to Doug Diola getting that replay back in the saddle for us.
The Eastern, it's unbelievable.
It's Viking Norse magic. That's what it's got to be.
And again,
they've got Mjolnir coming down like Thor.
Again, we took the loss.
100%.
You get it? I'm not over here to say, oh no, they should overturn them. No. All I'm saying is call a spade.
It's the principle of it.
Call a spade, man. It was not only noticed by me, you, plenty of people there.
Our replay system multiple times. We showed that play probably 5 minutes after it happened too, because we just got more angles of it.
Yeah.
The more I watched it, my jaw was just on the ground. And again, for it to happen against that team. And it's no slight to the team whatsoever.
No way.
It's just coincidence that two happenings at Gatone Stadium against Eastern High School have had referee shenanigans, for lack of a better term.
Yes.
And the correct call is as blatant and bright as day, and the incorrect call is what is put forward as correct.
And what really, and not to beat a dead horse, but you have a guy literally standing right at the pylon.
Part of our replay by the public broadcast. He is staring
literally
at the ball. At the half-yard line where the ball comes out, there is a referee, hands on his knees.
Yes.
Like he's doing the cha-cha slide. Hands on your knees. Hands on your knees.
And misses
it. I don't know if he sneezed, if he blinked, if a bug flew in his face.
Well,
if he was just daydreaming and just got stuck in his referee position, whatever it was, but it was crazy. I had déjà vu from a few years ago.
I immediately went to Smith. I said, "Not again, man. Are you kidding me for real? Not again." He was like, and you just can't. Again,
can't leave it in their hands.
No, you can't leave your. You just can't. We left points out on the board.
Right.
So again, I say kudos to Eastern. They finished off the game. Great coaching staff, great kids. Nothing against Eastern.
They played well.
Team at all. They played well. Okay. It's just it gets very frustrating that
a third
like
party
that, determines
things.
Like it's just unreal to me. But hey.
I joked with Marcelino after. I said, I think if Eastern pops up on the schedule again at Gatone Stadium, we just got to sage the field before
we might need
they come in. We need some frankincense and myrrh and all the natural just incense.
Just clean it up.
Clean
man.
house.
Clean it up.
Do it in the locker room.
The whole shebang.
Everywhere. We'll do it in the broadcast booth. We'll get it on film.
Oh, Kyle, man.
You do something.
Yeah. What was really weird about the whole thing is like, for real, is this déjà vu?
Yeah. It was the first time in a long time I've had a déjà vu feeling.
It was. I was like, I felt the same way that first time. Whoa, just leaves you in a state of perplexia. Like you're what? All right. Next play.
Here we go again.
Next play.
Right.
I can't do nothing. Next play.
Crazy. And it goes to show you stuff like that can alter a game. Not saying that, like you said,
no, we
can't leave it in their hands.
No.
But a call like that can alter a game.
Sure.
And it changed the outcome because of a call. But speaking of altering a game, Pennsauken upcoming. What have you guys taken away from their film that you've been able to dissect and look at? What are they looking like as a team here in 2025? And what are some things that you guys feel like you can really focus on and do well against them? What are some things that you want to see guys step up and really, kind of mask some deficiencies and improve those deficiencies that they may be able to attack?
Well, again, you're looking at a well-coached team, a good group of kids there in Pennsauken. They want to muscle you around. They have a good offensive line, good backs. They're going to be going ahead and try to impose their will on us. But again, we have our tactics and our strategies to. We're gonna make sure that we limit them to some of their key plays, if you will, and force them into some awkward situations, as we did with Eastern. There was a lot of talk. Eastern's going to run the table on us, and it's going to be 40-0 by the half. And there was all types of shenanigan talk. But our kids are resilient, man. We have good kids, and I'll put our kids up against anyone. It doesn't matter. you know, these kids take the coaching that we give them and they apply it, period. You know, for people that have no room to stand on, no leg to stand on, if you will, as far as coaching, if you don't see the difference in how these kids have been playing, I don't know what to tell you. But the coaching is here in Vineland. We have great guys. We have guys that care about our kids. And I wouldn't trade any one of my guys for anybody.
100%. And, I mean, we talked about it each week, and, you know, I feel like I'll have to go back and look at the tape of who we said, but it feels like those guys have stepped up as that X-Factor player for you. Who are some guys this week that you're challenging to really step up, especially in light of a lot of guys that are coming in less than 100% but may be cleared, so they may be on a pitch count, whatever it may be, some guys that are still out.
Right.
Who are some guys this week that you've kind of given them the notion that, like, hey, we're going to need you this week. We need you to take your game from here and step it up to here. Who are some of those players we're looking at on Friday night to really showcase their talents in a way that we may not have seen so far?
One of the kids that I'm really looking to see break out and come to his own. He's had some flashes. Justin Cheeseborough, man, like he's a great kid.
Name.
He's a great kid, man. Love that kid. I love the effort he puts out every day in practice. But I need him to break out, man. I need him to break out. And he knows it because I always tell him in practice, man, he's just a quality kid. Quay's gotta redeem himself from this past game.
Yeah.
You know?
He's my guy that I'm watching. I got my eyes on you, Quay.
He's you know, Quay Sean's a great kid. Just
so
a great
talented,
kid.
too.
Yep. Very talented. You know, what he lacks in height, he makes up for in gameplay, period.
Yep.
Period. You've seen that kid play. He's a baller. So I'm looking for him to step up as well. I'm really looking. I keep saying it. I want Aiden to go ahead and have a game
right there.
Listen. Zincraft is very close to just having that full spectrum of a game, not just defense. I'm talking at the tight end position.
And he had that catch
Yes.
against Eastern that was just so perfect, and I was like, there it is.
Yes.
That's what he's capable of.
He really is. He's really capable of doing that type of stuff. But I'm looking for that breakout, that real breakout moment in him. So, yeah, dude, there's some guys that right there, those three I would say are the ones that I'm really – also Caden Chestnut.
He's right there too.
I'm looking for him to have a breakout game. So there's some guys that I'm really – even Benny.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Scratched the surface a lot
Benny,
last week.
Yes. You know, I want him to have a – you know, this is a kid that's been with us, man. I want him to have a breakout game. You know, a statement game, you know, both offensively and defensively. The kid can play. So there's some guys there that I've thrown out that I think ultimately need to go ahead and start really understanding, you know what? It's my time, man. It's my time, and why wait? Let me take it now.
And I think all those guys you mentioned, too, against Eastern were just there, like, scratching at the surface. Like, they had the pickaxe ready to break through, and just time ran out.
Yeah.
It's right there, and I really hope all of those guys, because they're fully capable of doing it, and I
Great
think all of
kids,
those guys
Kyle.
you mentioned know they're capable of doing it and want to do it so that they can succeed not only for themselves but for the team at large. And I'm really pumped for all of it. I think those are truly like key X factor players this week that will determine a lot for you guys. And kind of what's the message to the team as we get set for another game, 6 p.m. kickoff at Gatone Stadium this Friday night. And the Friday Night Lights. It's good to be playing on Fridays.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Normality.
Myself, Marcelino Ojeda on the call on the Vineland Public Schools YouTube channel if you're unable to make it out. But come out to the game. It was a great environment on Thursday. Just a brilliant environment. And I got to give credit, too. I was at Gatone Stadium earlier this week, too, for the doubleheader soccer game. Congratulations to the girls' soccer team, a 4-0 win against Millville. Congratulations to the boys, a 1-1 double overtime draw with Millville as well. They fought hard. They played well.
Kids.
Great crowds for the soccer game, too, at Gatone Stadium. It was packed. I was especially for a Monday, I was like, wow, this is exactly what we talk about on the show, making Gatone Stadium the place to be and seeing how many other student athletes were there supporting their fellow classmates. It was a really awesome environment, so kudos to the student body and everybody that came out on Monday, everybody that came out last Thursday, and hopefully coming out this Friday for Friday Night Lights. But, Coach, what's the message to the team, the fan base, to gear up for this final home game until Cherry Hill? We got 3 away games back to back to back until we're back home again for one final regular season game. What's the message as we head into this final home game here in September?
Well, the message is real simple. We control our own destiny. We can't leave our destiny to be in the control of anyone else. So, so long as our kids understand that, and I think after this past week, they definitely understand that, we should be moving forward and not looking back, Kyle.
It's going to be a fun one. 6 p.m. Eastern Time at Gatone Stadium and on the Vineland Public Schools YouTube channel. Myself, Marcelino Ojeda, on the call. Be there. Go support this varsity football team. They are working their tails off, and they are a blast to watch. So come on out to Gatone Stadium. Be there for the environment, be there for the vibes, and be there to cheer on the boys in red and gray. Be sure to follow Vineland Football on social media, on Twitter and Instagram. Follow Underground Sports Philadelphia as well. All of the links are linked in the description for you. Subscribe to Guzman's Gridiron on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. It's available on the Underground Sports Philadelphia podcast feed as well as its very own feed. If you just want to listen to this show and this show only, it's available there as well. And if you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, you can watch the show every single game day eve. It premieres like live TV around 7:30 Eastern Time. That way the kids are home from practice. They can watch as well with their families. And then it's available to watch whenever on our YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe. It helps the show continue to grow, helps us do more awesome stuff for Guzman's Gridiron, plus all of our shows here on the network. Leave a like on the video. Drop those positive comments in the comment section. And tune into Guzman's Gridiron every single week throughout the season. Coach, best of luck this week against Pennsauken. Hopefully we're sitting here next week talking about a big-time win as we gear up to be road dogs the next 3 weeks. But until then, we will see you at Gatone Stadium on Friday night. And as always, go Vineland.